People in Ballroom are upset at another realness battle. Roll the clip. People found Paris's comments to be disrespectful and transphobic, which is easily understood. At the end of the day, the two individuals hugged it out, and so we're not going to stay there. I don't want to focus on the players of the game, but rather the game itself. The videos used in this conversation are for illustration purposes only. It is not to diminish the competitors or the individuals that are walking or anything like that in this video. We learn gender identity and gender constructs very early on as children. Being a little boy and being told that you can't play with a Barbie doll, or being a little girl and being told that you can't play with an action figure. Being yelled at for presenting too feminine in your speech, or being yelled at for presenting too masculine in your actions. So we get to Ballroom and we already understand what realness is. But what is Ballroom realness?
Realness is what it's all about. Being able to fit into the straight white world to embody the American dream.
The realer you look, it means you look like a real woman. Or you look like a real man. A straight man.
Sweetheart, with the cigarette, you're giving me a Banji girl effect. This is Banji. You know, the girls that be on the corner talking about, yo man, one that can hang out with the roughing and the
It's not
toughing.
a takeoff or a satire.
Can we have her score, please?
No, it's actually being able to be this.
Brenda Extravaganza, looking like a Banji girl.
So now we understand that Ballroom realness is about passability, blending into society. Basically appearing like your cis, straight, heterosexual counterpart for whatever gender that you are presenting as. But why is that psychologically damaging within the Ballroom structure? Judges chop for all different types of reasons. Sometimes you interpreted the category incorrectly, sometimes there's a technicality, sometimes a judge is bitter. But I only want us to focus on judges that chop because they feel the person is not real. They don't have anything against this person. It's just from their own personal experiences, they find the person in front of them to not be passable, to not be real. What does that say to individuals who participate in the Ballroom community walking the category of realness? So if a femme queen was chopped by a judge, what subliminal message do we send that individual? A chop says, I believe you are not passable. You cannot blend in society with cis women. I do not believe your identity as a woman. An individual is worthless until that outward presentation is up to a certain standard. And a lot of times those standards are rooted in white supremacy in itself. The beauty is rooted in Eurocentric features, having a small nose, having smaller features, when women come in all shapes and sizes. So what are we really doing with this realness category? What messages are we sending each other? We are all indoctrinated into this level of transphobia and homophobia, colorism, and the list goes on and on. And if that's not enough to convince you that realness is an insidious category, let's talk about what competitors have to do to win over their opponents.
There used to be a time where we used to tell the stories and the girls used to like call each other out. The rules are you tell her what you don't like about her, and then you tell her what's not real about her. So who's gonna win? We win. No, I know, but that's realness. That's how it is. You gotta call out the fault. Everybody's real. But we gotta make it right.
And I love this clip because it shows the indoctrination of transphobia that we get in the scene, the tactics that we learn from our elders to be transphobic, to misgender one another coming into the scene. It's so obvious to tell that those two girls were sisters and had no intentions of tearing each other down for entertainment for the rest of the ballroom community. Femme queens or trans women misgendering each other while battling for Femme Queen Realness is such a normal occurrence that we don't really bat an eye to it anymore. It's just normal. That's just what we do. As a young gay boy, I learned at a very early age that femininity was a horrible thing to portray and express, and it was very frowned upon. Not only did I learn it from my parents, but I also learned it from the world. We get to ballroom and we display these caricatures of hypermasculinity in order to be accepted, in order to be rewarded, in order to win money. These very categories teach us internalized homophobia. There are people out there that say if realness is so bad, then don't walk it. But the thing is, realness is the very fabric of all of our ballroom categories. Gender identity plays a part in each category. Femme Queen Performance 2004. This individual got chopped because they didn't appear to be feminine enough while walking Femme Queen Performance.
Selena, why do you think Kelly is not real?
I don't want to say it.
Oh, you're showing it. You're showing why.
We're both real. But at the end of the day, who the only judges up here are? The straight world. Thank you.
Selena says something so interesting to me. The only judges here are the straight world. We are so desperate to be accepted by the heterosexual community and the heterosexual world that we are willing to tear each other down.
And at the end of the day, when you take Mother Khan to 125th Street, they're going to throw bottles at her. She's oversurged, her chin's too long, her nose is too small, that ass is hard as a rock.
But the fact that Kelly said that if Selena was to go to 125th Street and essentially she would get bashed or potentially killed is insane. The entire audience clapped and cheered. We are not okay. Thanks for staying all the way to the end. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so we can talk more about things like this. And make sure you leave me a comment. I would love to hear your feedback. Realness is about blending into society, blending into heterosexual society. And it's no secret that the average heterosexual is homophobic, is transphobic. So we blend in so bad that we end up becoming transphobic and homophobic ourselves. Think about that.